I restarted the recording.
Are you gonna edit this?
No. Unless something bad happens.
No, that's a model.
Why is there?
Yeah, they should be here to switch any minute, hopefully. So I'll switch with Gene or Connie, whoever comes up, and you can switch with the other one.
What is that? It's 10:50. Oh, no. Wait,
Tie your shoe around.
did you just step in it?
Yeah.
Oh, you stepped in the
Come on up here, guys.
Miss, did you step in that?
No,
Rylan did. Ew, you stepped in that? Yes, I did. Actually, they're made for big
Just class groups, or like if I were just to do
No, so
my family.
there's, if you come as just one of the public.
Ryder, where are you?
Yeah, come right over here, guys. So we're going to talk for a minute before you head into the stable yard, and then I want to show you guys something else cool while we're standing here. So one thing is this, guys. Next up, you're going to go into the stable yards. Couple of things to tell you about that. One thing you're going to do in there, guys, is meet all the artisans. All the artisans, guys, are doing the same jobs that people that were enslaved here did back then. They're using the same tools and the same methods. They're even wearing the same clothes that people would have worn back then. So you're going to meet the potter and the blacksmith, people like that, to show you how to do different jobs, special skilled jobs. The other thing you're going to do in there is what everybody wants to do when they're out here is meet the animals. A couple of things about that, guys. I'm going to tell you guys the secret, basically, on how to get these animals to like you, so you'll be able to pet some of them. Guys, all you have to do is be sneaky. You gotta be quiet. You can't run up to the fence, guys. You can't make noises at them. The animals hate when you make noises at them. Don't wave your arms around. Don't scream. If you keep your voice down, if you walk up nice and slow, a lot of those animals, the big ones, will come right over to the fence. Your guide will let you know which of them you can pet. And then otherwise, guys, some of them aren't in fences. They're just out running around. Trust me, they're not gonna bite you. They're not gonna chase you. They all care about one thing and one thing only, guys. Food. They all want food. That's all they care about. So all you need to do, if you see something out walking around, is just hold still, let it walk by, guys. You'll get some really good pictures of them. The guides will let you know which of them you can pet. One thing we do not do out here, guys, is chase any of these animals. We don't want you to get hurt. We don't want the animals to get hurt. So all you have to do is be nice and quiet, and you'll see a lot of those animals come right up to you. Now, we're going to do that here in just a minute. In the meantime, guys, what I wanted to point out was this tree. This is called a live oak tree, guys. That is all these trees that we saw as we walked over from the parking lot.
Really?
They are live oak trees. Anybody want to guess how old do you think this tree is? What do you think?
Probably 800 years old, 500 years old.
125.
Oh, more. What do you think? No, not quite that much. What do you think?
150?
I'm going to say, guys, 700 to 800 years old.
She guessed
They
it.
can live even longer than that. There is one in the gardens that's over 1,000 years old. This one, though, is still very, very old. You can tell, for one thing, how big it is. Another thing, guys, is they kind of grow funny. You see on some of the younger ones how the limbs grow down to the ground?
Oh my gosh.
So these would do the same thing, but we've actually had to chop a few of those limbs off. It's not real good for the tree once that limb is laying on the ground. And these trees are so tough, guys, that most parasites and things that might attack other trees, they can't do anything to these trees. They can't even get through the bark. You see where we cut that limb off? You see how
those
thick that bark is, guys?
Oh my.
2 inches thick. So what it will actually start to do is dry rot on the inside of the tree. And then eventually those limbs will just break off. It looks just fine from the outside, but it turns out it's actually getting rotten on the inside and it will snap off. Another thing that you can see, guys, is when they're hollowed out, animals will use them. We
There's a
got one
beehive.
set of animals right here. You guys see them flying in and out? That's a beehive right there. You see that dark spot? And you can see them flying in and out of there. So the bees have come in there and say, look, instead of me building a whole new hive, I'm just going to use the hole that's already right there in the tree.
I know.
Guys, a couple things. Oh, go ahead.
Is it true too about these trees that the root system is a mirror image of their branch system?
Twice as big. If you can believe that, guys, so look how big those branches are. The roots go out twice as far. They're
Oh my.
really well anchored. They're really held to the ground really hard for a storm to knock one down. Plus, they don't grow like a normal tree, guys. You look at a pine tree, it grows straight up. These will grow up and then start to grow back down. It keeps them low to the ground. Really hard for a storm or hurricane, which we get all the time, to knock one of these trees down.
Aren't that with most like pine trees and other trees too, where however the taller the roots are twice as big?
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's what
yeah, you need some anchoring, especially in the low country.
That's what
But these guys are specifically evolved to live in the southeast and handle these giant storms.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hang out right here real quick. I'm gonna see where the other group is, so we can go ahead and switch and get
Yeah. Can you believe how old that child is?
Yeah, my mom was able to guess it. Guess the age. Have you noticed that area right there? Like the branch is under the ground and comes back up.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's not fully under the ground.
It's not fully under the ground, but it's just. Hey, Benjamin, look at that.
Takes it out. 1, 2. You gotta do it quick.
What?
Yeah, what? That's house. Hello! I already took a picture of that. On his YouTube channel.
This is gonna take up so much memory on my phone.
But it's, you're putting it on a YouTube channel?
Yeah. I have a YouTube channel.
How much subscribers do you have?
Only 7 because I have to use my mom's email. Lauren Schrader.
I'm sorry for that.
I want to change it to ghosts
Why go?
because I really like ghosts and ninjas. Just
Why don't you just give your mom's email out? I don't want your mom's email.
her Facebook name, I think. My account name is Lauren Schrader.
Okay, I'll look that up. Then I'll follow you probably.
And
P.S. half of the people don't know that you do, so this is kind of weird.
Like I haven't even put this on YouTube.
Mainly rich
I'm
people.
probably gonna put it on YouTube when we get on the bus.
Mainly rich people get the most subscribers.
Because that's what the breeder called them.
Yeah, and they use a lot of money.
Farmers
Yeah.
do from Iowa.
And then they get sponsors.
Like
their magazines.
like
and stuff
getting
like
my mom 10 iPhones 11, 10 iPhone 11s.
And he said that over.
I like to make.
that. Yeah, Joe just see what's
You actually have 2 kinds of plants that are living on the tree. One is all this gray stuff. What is that, guys?
Moss.
What, Spanish moss. Here's what's funny about Spanish moss, guys. It's not Spanish and it's not moss either. Believe it or not, guys, that is the same kind of plant, the same plant family as pineapple. The animals out here love it. If you are ever lost in the woods in the southeast, you can eat the tips of the Spanish moss. Back then, the enslaved population, guys, you would boil it and make a tea with it. It has some medicinal properties you could use. Once you boil it like that, guys, you take what's left of the moss. It's almost like a paste. They use it like Neosporin. It will help keep a cut clean and help it heal up faster. But another thing you can do with it, guys, is your cushioning. So if you put it in a smoker, you start a fire at the bottom, the smoke comes up through the moss, all the bugs get out of it, then you can use it. You can maybe stuff the soles of your shoes with it, your pillows, your mattresses, anything you need like that to be nice and soft, you can use the Spanish moss to do it.
Okay, hold on. So, but if you burn it, are you just heating it? Because if you burn it, it doesn't go to ash?
Yeah, so basically in a smoker, it's basically a big box.
Yes,
The
sir.
fire's at the bottom, you hang the moss above it, the smoke comes up through it, and then the bugs will get out of it.
Yeah, because like the most thing that I know about Spanish moss is chiggers.
Yeah, so the thing is, guys, you can notice that even the animals know this, guys. If it's laying on the ground, the animals won't touch it. If they see you pull it down out of the tree, then they'll eat it. They know that if it is more than 3 feet above the ground, it won't have chiggers in it. If it is 3 feet or closer to the ground or on the ground, it will. That's right.
Does anybody know what chiggers are?
Nope. Nope.
There's a bee on later.
Hold on. So, do you want to tell? Or
Yeah,
It flew
they're
off
little red
Maryland,
bugs, guys.
Asia.
They are not a nice thing to get on you.
So chiggers, a lot of the times when we talk about Spanish moss, because we have that a lot where we are, the chiggers, if it's on the floor, and that's why we're like, don't touch the moss, don't touch the moss. There's little tiny bugs, and if those bugs get into you, or even if you're walking like in the brush and you don't have higher boots on, that's why not only boots are meant for water, but to also protect your legs. Because there's people, I mean, I've gotten them, my husband's gotten them, where literally the chiggers and the bugs will get inside your pores and inside your skin, and you can see them like crawling like inside your. It's pretty disgusting.
It's bad.
And then like you have to put yourself in like a bleach bath to kill them from the. Yeah. So if you ever see it on the floor, don't touch it.
Yeah, don't
It looks
leave it
beautiful
alone.
on a
That's
tree.
That's
on
where
the
the
ground.
story of don't let the bed bugs bite comes
Yeah.
from. Because they used
Oh,
to make
there you go.
They used to make their mattresses out of this stuff.
That's right.
So when, I think, what do you say? Sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs
Good
bite.
night, sleep tight.
Good night,
Yeah.
sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. And you'd be
right.
thinking, there's no bugs in my bed.
One of the
There
cool
used to
things
be.
about it, guys, it's what we call an epiphyte. What that means is, guys, it's an air plant. It has no roots. It does not need anything from the tree. It is not a parasite. It's not taking anything from the tree. All it needs from the tree, guys, is something to hang on to. It will get all of its nutrients out of the wind and out of the rain. So all the water and all the nutrients it needs will come from the wind and the rain. Yeah.
That's why moss can't grow in places like New York because the air is very polluted.
And it's cold up there. Part of the problem with the Spanish moss, it needs a warmer climate. So it's mainly in the southeast as well. Now another plant though, guys, that you see on it is that green fern growing on the limbs right there. Well, believe it or not, guys, that's not a regular fern. That is an epiphyte also. It doesn't take anything from the tree. It gets everything it needs from the rain and the wind. No roots on that one either, guys. That one you'll actually see growing on the roofs of these buildings. You'll see it growing on bricks. All it needs is something to hold on to. And this is the cool thing about that, guys. It's called resurrection fern. Resurrection fern, guys, actually can lose 97% of its water and still live. A normal plant, guys, if it loses 10% of its water, it starts to turn brown, it'll start to die. This one can lose 97%. It shrivels up real tiny, guys. It's a little brown thing. You look at it, you think it's dead. All it's doing is waiting on more rain. As soon as it rains, it turns green and flattens out again. It is one of the toughest plants around, guys. They have actually taken it to the International Space Station, and it will resurrect in zero gravity. Yeah, they're following him. They want a snack. So, guys, one thing you're going to see about all the animals out here, they're called heritage breeds. What that means is they are the same types of animals that were here in the 17 and 1800s. We don't have anything here just to be part of a zoo or anything like that. These are all the same kind of animals you would have seen back then, and they all had jobs to do, guys. You didn't have animals on a plantation back then to be pets. You had them here to do jobs. So what kind of animal do we just see go by?
Sheep.
What's the job, guys?
Wool.
Wool, absolutely. You need that wool to use to make clothing. I see Miss Jean, guys, so I think we're about ready.
All I want to see about the animals. Oh, the bee's nest is right there. There was a beehive on. There's a bee on Miss Tracy. Yeah, on her hat.
Does this hurt? Do you see me going and it's like that? Yeah.
Like pretend like you're this person.
Same thing with Gavin.
I think they already did.
The only thing I don't like about the derby and derby is that it isn't like the same.
Right, because we like to think of it as like a safari instead of walking through a barnyard, because we do have a lot of free-range animals. The chickens, the sheep, let's see, who else? Guinea fowl. They're like really cool looking
What are guinea fowls?
birds. Heads. They almost look like yeah, they do a little bit, but they're nice and round, and they look kind of yummy actually.
Oh.
So first thing we're gonna do though is split into two groups. Do you have your chaperones? Have you already in groups?
Yes.
Or we can do them right down the middle. Okay, so maybe 2 or 3 chaperones each, and I'll take 2 chaperones and I'll deposit you at our Potter shed, and 2 chaperones will go to the Cooper shop. Then we'll swap, okay? And if we have a little more time, if the Meet the Breeds tour is not done with the other group, we'll have time to peek our head in the other shops. But so for now, I'll take you. We can all walk into the stable yards, and I'll deposit the first 2 chaperones at the Potter.
There's a sheep. Oh my god. And there's chickens. Why? They sound like goats.
First group here. All right, so 2 chaperones can stay here, and I'll take the other 2 chaperones.
I want to see. I want to pet the sheep.
Alright, where's my group? 2
Alrighty. Let's see, do we have everyone up here yet?
Tall people in the back, short people in the front.
Make sure everyone can see.
Stand back one, you know what I mean? Get someone short in.
Piper needs to get in front because
Alrighty, do we have everyone now? Alrighty guys, welcome to the potty shop. Have any of you guys ever worked with clay before?
No.
Done pinch pots, coil pots? So you're a little familiar with the techniques that would have been used here back in the day.
I've actually just went out of my neighbor and got brought.
Oh, yeah. So everything made here would have been made with coil pots and pinch pots and then hit fired. They would have looked a little something like these back in the day. So clay we find here in the ground all over. It's very malleable, and we call this plasticity. That's why we're able to manipulate it. So you can squish between your fingers and get any shape you want. Guys, pass this around real quick and tell me what you feel in this clay. So Shay, any adjective you can think of to describe this for me? Cold, yeah, so clay takes on the temperature of the air. Make sure everyone gets a chance to play with it. I'm gonna pass that around. Alrighty, guys.
Technically, you're in the other room. This is weird.
Yeah, we want to keep passing that around so everyone gets a chance to play with the clay. I didn't make these, but other people did. So we call this colono ware, and they've all been made by the slaves here on property to supplement their own households. So they would have cooked with these sometimes. So if you look at this bowl, this is something we've actually cooked in it.
Hard. Squishy.
Well, that brown is from the pit firing.
Don't forget to give it
Carbon marks
to them.
So when we cook with this, it holds that heat very well, and things can just simmer in here really easily. So if you guys can pass that clay back to me and tell you a little more about it.
It sticks to your hair.
It does. It's very sticky. And as you can see, what do I have left in here but your fingerprints? So if I fired this right now in my kiln, I could have your fingerprints still permanently in here. So sometimes in these pieces we have, you can still see the fingerprints in them. Okay, does anyone know how hot you have to fire clay at to get it to harden? What's your first guess? Even hotter than that. Even hotter. Next guess? Shout it out for me.
1,500.
A
5,000.
little lower than that.
5,000.
Little lower.
1,500.
1,500. 4,000.
We went to 50.
All right, so low fire
3,000.
clay is fired at 1,800 degrees. So that's how hot the clay here in our ground has to be fired to get it to harden. High fire clay that we're using now gets fired at 2,200 degrees
How did they make a fire that hot back then?
with pine wood, the sap, and that gets it hot enough. So what they would have done back then also is doctor their kilns so they get fired really hot with the drafts coming through up in Edgefield. So that is where you would have found a wheel like this. Here, not so much. There would not have been a wheel thrower here. So I'm going to get this clay nice and stuck on my wheel here, and I'm going to show you guys how I use this. So you would not have found someone making anything on a wheel here. But it is a lot more fun to see. So Edgefield, about 100 miles northwest of us in the Piedmont region, is where they have high fire clay. And that's more easily fired at higher temperatures. So the higher you fire a clay, the more the pores in it are going to seal. So those little holes that you see in terracotta that suck up that moisture, that's what we call porous. So high fire clay, that's the one you get fired at 2,200 degrees and it gets really hot, and all those little holes in the clay seal up really nice and becomes watertight. So no water's gonna leak out of it. So I'm working on a treadle wheel here. So I use this one lever, and that's how I get it going. I get it going as fast as I can, and I use water to cut down on that friction. And I'm pressing down on this clay and slowing it down. So what keeps my wheel moving is inertia. So if I kick this and get it going, it's going to keep going for quite a while until it slows down when I work on it. The friction is what cuts down on the inertia. And I'm going to keep adding water so it doesn't get quite as rough and I can keep that clay slipping between my hands. So what I'm doing now is I'm centering the clay. So I'm trying to get it nice and centered on the bat so I can get it to go nice and evenly. If something's off center, one side's going to be up here and one side's going to be down here when I make my bowl. So I'm going to get this going as fast as I can. A little more water. My rib. You can already see it's getting a little more even for me. A little more water. So centering is the most boring part of the process, but it is the most important. Press down. Alrighty, that feels pretty centered to me.
That's cool.
So the first step in actually making the bowl, so I'm going to make the inside of it first. Add a little more water, and I'm going to take my middle fingers, and I'm going to press down in the middle. I'm just going to press down and make a crater. I'm going to keep pressing down, add a little more water. And I'm basically making the inside of it first. So I'm pressing down, not all the way through though, because then I'd have a hole in the bottom of my bowl. I'm going to pull it out, get that wheel going again for me. And I have a nice inside part of my bowl. So technically, this is already a bowl now. Not super practical though. I can't fit a whole lot of soup in here on a cold day like today. And the walls are a little thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling this clay up between my fingers. So here. Take this clay right here. Pinch it. I'm going to pull it up. Feels like my bat's trying to leave my wheel real quick. So I'm going to adjust that. There we go. Don't want that flying off. That would be bad. Then we go a flying bowl.
Then it would hit someone's face.
It would. That would be dangerous. Now it's a little off center because I moved that bat, but we will make it work as best we can. So you're going to see a very wobbly bowl, and you're going to see what happens when you don't center it properly. So because my bat was off center and not attached properly, now my clay is off center.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You see it's
Yeah.
really wobbly.
I see it's like,
It's actually not wobbly, it's just
It's just, yeah. So instead of it being right here on my bat, it's over here a little bit. So it's not going to be quite as even as I would like, but I'm still going to show you guys how this would work as best I can. I'm going to pinch it. Pull up. So you can see it's very off center. One wall's going up a lot higher than the other one.